Now we can hear you.
And we're back.
We are back. Good morning. You're in the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM and streaming live on the web, WLCNonline.com, 24/7 all over the world. So tune in to the Cheap Seats. And I'm Scott Kirby along with Joe Ryan and Jake Johnston, the furniture guy.
Furniture guy's back.
He's with us.
I'm part of the action this week.
Love it.
And speaking of the furniture guy, that's where we're at, out front of Jake's Furnishings. Jake, you got anything going on today? As far as I know, it's always a good day to buy furniture, but
we actually have a little manager special deal going on right now. Some special sofas marked down to $399. It's really nice values. Recliners marked way down. I mean, we got a whole bunch of deals going all the way through the store, man.
Awesome.
How about buy furniture?
Yeah, how about beds? You're having a big deal on beds too, aren't you?
Oh well, of course. We have Bimco mattresses. The mattresses of tomorrow today for you. That's right.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I do what I can. No, we actually do have a nice sale going on with them as well. Still got some introductory specials actually on our Sleep Sense mattresses, which is a kind of our high-end hybrid mattresses. #1 rated mattress in America right now. So lots of exciting things. Yeah,
#1.
That's right.
Well, guys, hey, we have some tickets to give away. We're gonna throw out a trivia question here a little bit later in the show, maybe after the first break. But we have some monster truck tickets.
Yeah, I can't.
The Monster Truck
right.
Summer Nationals.
That's right. On Sunday,
What
June
day?
15th. Sunday.
That is Sunday. That's Father's Day, June 15th. We got a pair of, we got 4 tickets, 2 adult, 2 children that we're going to be giving away. It is here at the Lincoln Speedway, and we'll go in a little more detail later on.
We'll give you the whole seat, but you only need the edge. I can't stop.
We can turn your mic off.
Sounds just like him.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
It's good. I like it.
Fired up.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to throw out a trivia question. I'm sure those tickets, they're like... let's see, the value $18 per ticket. So
okay, but really nobody cares about that. Who's going to be there?
Well, that's going to be our trivia. So we can't say.
The Raminator's going to be there.
The Raminator, La Chica Loca is going to be there.
Yeah.
But there's a big name there. It's going to be one of our
Ghost
trivia
Rider.
questions. So stay tuned. We're going to throw that trivia out, and you can call in to win as soon as we give that. So.
Wow. So that's the. Why don't you just throw out the question now?
Well, because we want the listeners.
This is his
to be,
radio show.
Well, we want to be the listeners to stay
I've never really
tuned.
understood this.
What?
This whole set them up and keep in suspense.
Suspense, because you win your tickets, you're going to turn the radio show
I'm
off.
horrible at keeping secrets.
I know, you just about blew it. So it's a big deal.
Walking Facebook's what you are.
Yeah. It's a big deal. Guys, a lot of sports going on right now. We got some NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. The Blackhawks lost a heartbreaker last Sunday in overtime. Man, I'm still sick about it. But they lost to the Kings in overtime. It's a tough way to lose because you're in the game. It can go either way, and that's the good. The different thing about hockey is, once that goal's scored in overtime, it's over. So it's just like all of a sudden your season's done, just like that. You run into a brick wall. Whereas other sports, you kind of see it coming, sometimes. But it was a heartbreaker. Well, it's windy out here.
That walk-off home run.
Hold on, guys.
So so now it's the LA Kings and the New York Rangers. The Kings.
Let's go
are up.
Rangers.
Really? You're going Rangers, huh?
I'm going to root for the Rangers. I haven't been there in a long time.
Right.
When was the last time they were there?
94.
94.
SCA.
Yeah, so the Kings are up 1 game to zip.
Yep.
So
anytime New York's in something, I pretty much don't want New York to win.
Or LA.
I would say New York, LA, what's the difference?
I don't. LA doesn't bother me as much. I don't know why.
That's because you're a sunny weather guy. You like sunshine.
That's what it is.
Warm weather.
I do.
No
like
sun in New
weather.
York?
Well, it
Not
gets smoking
really.
hot there in the summer, I'll tell you that.
Never been there.
People get angry.
But I also don't work for Country Financial, so
Well,
there you go.
a lot of us would like to know where you work exactly.
I'll just drive down the road here.
FedEx would like to know where you
That's what I mean. I've had a few calls with him.
Well,
What does he do?
not a whole lot.
Big thanks to the coffee sponsor today.
Yes, Hampton Inn. They're our coffee sponsor and pastry sponsor.
Delicious.
Absolutely. NBA playoffs. Heat and the Spurs A little bit of a controversy. The first game at San Antonio, the AT&T Stadium.
Yeah.
Lost their air conditioning, so it was a little toasty in there.
Something smells fishy. Those guys are probably
that wasn't fish.
way better shape.
That was body odor.
Hey,
You got thousands and thousands of people in there, no AC. Woo! And
Well,
LeBron cramps up.
yeah, and they couldn't take it. You know, didn't that happen to the Cardinals a few years ago? The Minnesota Twins, the Twinkies, they turned some fans on, blew some home runs out, and then turned them off when we were batting. They cheated us.
I
wouldn't say
possible?
that.
They cheated us.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very possible, but I don't know how much that actually
So that could have happened here, too.
happened. But
Well, I mean, both sides, though. I mean,
it wasn't like the Royals when Deckinger blew the call, but whatever. That'd just be one more world championship we'd have.
One more.
I feel a little
to add to
sense
the
of
list.
bitterness because, the Cardinals aren't doing so well right now.
They're all right.
Oh, it's early.
Long season, my
It is.
friend.
I know.
They'll make a run.
But back to the NBA playoffs.
Back to
Who do you guys
NBA.
like in that?
Oh, you can't go
Spurs
against
are
LeBron.
up. Spurs are up one game
1-0.
to nothing. And if you remember last year's the same matchup, the Spurs had the Heat beat. They had that wrapped up.
Ray
and
Allen drilled that
hit that
three in the
corner.
Yep.
And boy, since then, from that point on, it was all Heat. But the Spurs have the Heat number. I mean,
The Spurs play well. And you'd like to think they could take them down. I'm going to root for them just so LeBron doesn't
Absolutely.
get another one. But, boy, they're good. The Heat will be there in the end.
I'd kind of like to see. Well, I like to see San Antonio win it, but we'll see if that did happen. What would happen with LeBron and his free agency?
Well, he's got one more year, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, is that going to be a thing to kind of trigger him and say, I'm just going to go somewhere else? Build another team. I don't know. Go build one with Kobe or go build one with Kevin Durant or,
Would you want to see him go? I mean, it's not going to happen. Would you want him to be in Chicago? Would your outlook on
I'll buy
LeBron
it.
James change if he was playing for
Oh, yeah.
Chicago?
Darn toot, he's on your team then.
Dang
Right now, I can't stand the guy.
It's
but
it's the whole Dennis Rodman thing. Hated
him in-
Dennis Rodman.
put him in that
hated-
Bulls uniform.
Put him in
though.
that Bulls
Love him.
uniform. My goodness. He's just a rebounding defensive machine.
Yeah.
If
Everybody
everybody
Peyton
loved
Allen.
him.
Put Peyton Allen on our team. We'd all like him.
Oh, that's exactly it.
I don't dislike
make
the
him-
kid.
you make
He's
him
a
a
high
railer.
schooler. He's not getting paid millions of dollars. But
We could have worked out a contract or something, I'm sure. No,
we could have done something.
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 Where's he going to school at next year?
Texas A&M. And
Big deal.
That's a big deal.
And Larry Austin, he withdrew from Tennessee. Now he's going to Xavier. Is that correct,
right.
Joe?
Yeah.
Xavier.
Xavier.
I was wondering what was going to happen when the dominoes fell from the coach moving on. So
Yeah. So
It's a good thing.
I guess, boy, we're just all over the place. Sticking with basketball.
back to the NBA.
Well, basketball is
Cyber jumpers.
It never ends in Lincoln. Right now, their summer league started. They're in the process of playing some tournaments right now. They played at Normal West last night in Peoria today and tomorrow. There's basketball camps and start next week. Their summer leagues have already started. Offensive camp starts up in a week or two. Girls and boys.
Girls camps and boys
Yeah.
camps. So
So I know it's baseball
parents,
season.
you need to make sure you're making phone calls to find out about these camps because they are great for the kids.
Yeah, and you guys, you think about sending your kids to like all these big name camps, U of I,
Yep.
sending them all over the country for these camps. They're going to get more hands-on training at this camp. I mean, just because the coaches and they're committed to the program, your kids are gonna get more out of these camps than they would
I
if
completely
they're
agree.
going to like a big university camp.
Well, they go to those big university camps, and they are essentially a small fish in a big pond.
Right.
They've got a lot more kids they got to deal with, and believe it or not, even at camps like that, there are favorites. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to say political, but at the same time, they've got people that maybe the directors of the camps or whatnot. They know who these kids are. And they push them towards the front,
Right.
to make sure that they get as much hands-on as they can. At these camps here, they're extremely hands-on. I mean, I've been out there.
Whoa, hey, heads up.
Look at that catch. It's like I'm still top of my game.
Yeah.
But
Right top of your game.
Catcher.
something. But yeah, much more hands-on here, and I mean, we got some of the most quality coaches around, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the Lincoln people know that we have the best coaches. I'm kind of biased though, but I mean it shows.
Trying to get his share.
It shows year in, year out.
We do have good coaches, and believe it or not, there's college coaches that, they'll call up our coaches and want to know. Everybody wants to know that 1-2-2 ball press. Everybody wants to learn it. As a matter of fact, Coach Al has given a clinic to a lot of coaches. I don't know if he's already done it or it's coming up, but these coaches, they want to learn the 1-2-2 ball press. He'll teach it to them, but you got to have the kids and you got to have the dedication to run it.
That's exactly right.
So he doesn't tell all the secrets though. But get the kids out basketball camp. Especially at that young age. Get them familiar with the game. They may not play it down the road, but gives them something to do, and it's very inexpensive. Get a nice shirt out of it,
and that's the thing too. It is inexpensive, and it gets them out of the house for a little bit, gets them active, gets them meeting other kids maybe that they might not know.
Right,
that's right here in our own town too.
Well, so many junior highs that we have.
Yep.
It's nice getting these kids together. Instead of competing against each other, get them together in one spot, learn the game of basketball, and who knows down the road.
Back on the NBA, though, that was a game the Spurs had to have. With LeBron going out and whatnot, they had to have that game. If they lose that, I would have said the series was over after Game 1.
Well, they play tonight.
I believe it is tonight, yeah.
And it's at San Antonio, so we'll see if they have the AC fixed or not.
Actually, no, Sunday at 8 o'clock. Sunday!
Why they got so many days in between?
They're tired.
Those guys need a lot of rest.
Yeah, they're a lot
of rest.
They're just tired.
Sounds fishy.
That wasn't fish.
It's body odor. Joe, did you shower this morning?
No, I didn't.
No, he's game ready.
And I got downwind from you.
That's right. Hey guys, let's take a quick commercial timeout. We come back, we're going to have that trivia question for you, so stay tuned. You can win 4 tickets to the No Limits Monster Truck Summer Nationals
on Sunday.
What day is it?
Sunday.
And Andy McDonald's supposed to be here too. Going to come in and talk some football.
Coach Max.
He's pulling in now. Look at him.
We'll talk football. Well, we'll get him on.
Slide in here sideways
as soon as he gets here. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM, WLCNonline.com.
Spoil Dad like a king this year when you get into Jake's Furnishings in Lincoln, where you'll save on store-wide Father's Day bargains on everything Ashley, including roomy, man-sized recliners, great sofa recliners, tons of TV stand options, and...
You got to dance, Andy, if you're going to be on here. Let it go a little bit.
All my friends, yellow rider.
That's Jake there singing. Good morning. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats. Scott Kirby, Joe Ryan, and with us right now is Coach Andy McDonald, your head coach of the Lincoln Rail Splitter football squad. Morning, Coach.
Morning.
It's that time of year. You got probably some camps starting up, maybe some 7-on-7s. Football's right around the corner.
Yeah, it'll happen pretty quick. We're kind of excited to get in the summer. Now school's out, and this next week we'll start up with workouts. And we'll be bringing the guys in Monday night to hand out helmets and shoulder pads, and so we can use those throughout the summer occasionally. Do some fitness and strength testing, and then we'll start workouts on Wednesday.
Wow, that's it's got to be I know for me it's an exciting time of year. Whenever you talk about handing out football equipment, it just means, like you said, right around the corner, be ready to fire it up. What do you got going on as far as camps? I know Lincoln Youth Football, you're very involved in that. Do you have anything for those kids this summer?
July 14th, 15th, and 16th from 5:30 to 7 in the evening. We're going to have a camp for grades going into 2nd through 8th grade. And then we're also we're going to have some youth football coaches out there, and it's basically going to be a time of really going over some fundamentals that we're teaching at the high school, and trying to be a little more cohesive throughout the whole youth football program in the high school, and give the kids that are new to football an opportunity to learn some fundamentals of the game of being a football player, and for the kids that have played to brush up and kind of sharpen their skills before they go into the youth football season.
I thought you were getting ready to say something.
We've just listening. Our booster clubs purchased quite a few pieces of equipment that we're going to be able to use this year at the high school, and so we're going to also kind of make access for the youth kids to use those at the camp a little bit, and then we're hoping too that that during the youth football season this year, we're going to work out some opportunities for some of the older kids, probably the middle school kids that come out and practice at high school, as their coaches kind of see fit and make use of some of the equipment we've got.
Now, if kids are interested in this camp, how do they go about signing up? Where do you pick up a form? Can you go online?
There are forms out at Grau dealership where they're having the youth football league sign-ups, and so we've also got the youth football camp sign-ups out there. They can stop by the activities office at the high school or contact me by email. Also at the high school, I can send it to them.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about what you've got going on with the kids that are in high school right now with the weightlifting.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're Monday night's kind of our testing night and kind of kickoff night, and then Wednesday morning we'll have our veteran guys in and kind of do a little weight room orientation and get them started in their conditioning workouts in the weight room and speed and agility training, and then doing something a little different this year. We had talked about kind of having a rookie camp for the incoming freshmen and new players and kind of give them some time devoted to themselves before they get with the whole team. Throughout the month of June, we're going to have from 1 to 3 in the afternoon, we're going to kind of have our rookie time of conditioning with them. We'll finish up doing some kind of basic football work with them, so that we get into July and bring the whole team together. They're not quite feeling as intimidated because they've gotten to have a little more attention throughout the month of June and getting them used to the weight room. And the conditioning, is just so important to the game of football and any sport, but to prepare themselves physically for the demands of the season.
And that involves weightlifting as well.
Sure. Yes. It's a must.
Football's a physical sport, obviously, and the stronger you are, the better you're going to be. Coach, you lost a lot of key players from last year graduating. Your quarterback, Austin Cruz, and some other key members of your squad. Not to put you on the spot, but who are some kids that we need to look for this year? Who do you expect to step up and take over that quarterback role, and some other needs that you need to fill in that squad?
Well, I mean, we've got a lot of questions, and hopefully we'll get some of those answered throughout the summer with the work that we're doing. And when we get into the middle of July, and will be a little more intensive as far as actual football work and skill work, and so we got a lot of questions at an awful lot of positions. Garrett Isles was our sophomore quarterback last year and is coming back, and so I would have to say you asked about this quarterback position, he would be the front runner right now. We've got Sean Cannon's coming back, played both ways for us as a cornerback and a running back last year, and so he's going to have a big load. Ethan Kunkel is one of our leaders on the offensive line and defensive side of the ball that played both ways, and we've Eric Sutton played both ways last year, and I'll probably miss some guys, but those are some key guys off the top of my head that we expect them to really step up and show some great leadership this year, and to get us on the way.
Good deal.
Yeah, it's all about getting in there right now, though. You got to get in that weight room. You can't wait till August to come out for football.
No.
Yeah, and that really starts when the season's over.
Several of the guys that are not involved, we encourage all the guys that if there's something they can contribute to another sport throughout the year in the winter and spring, we encourage them to do that. We think that's going to make them a better athlete all around. It's going to make them a little more durable because they're using a lot of different muscle groups, and it's going to make them more competitive as they're competing throughout the year. But if there's not another sport they're interested in, then we expect them to be in the weight room. We've had the weight room open after school 3 days a week, ever since back in November, and so several of the guys have been taking advantage of that, and they've made great gains, throughout the last several months.
A lot of summer activities going on. When you get that well-rounded athlete, basketball, of course, is they have their thing going on. Baseball's got their thing going on.
Right.
Football, seems like the third fiddle here because basketball goes, then baseball's going on in this summer, and then you got football coming up. But the truth of the matter is football is actually the next sport, the next high school sport that's going to come in season, and the kids got to get out there, earlier than just showing up, that first day of practice.
And we want the kids to enjoy the summer. We had and which is why we mainly in June is just conditioning work. It's weight room and conditioning, which is going to help them for whatever sport they play. We're a little more specific to the demands of football, and then so we really stress that if at all possible that they can get to our weight room conditioning workouts because it's going to help them throughout the season. Make them, mobility, speed, agility, make them more durable.
Talk a little about the conference changes, Coach. Because it will be the fall sports will be the ones that are going to see them first.
Yes, we've added Decatur Eisenhower and Decatur MacArthur to a CS8, and so all of our football games will be conference games this year. Every one of them, no non-conference. So not sure what to expect from them. I think they'll obviously have some good athletes. I know MacArthur has typically been a team, in the Big 12 that's been playoff bound, in the last 10 years, I think about 5 years. So Eisenhower, as far as wins and losses, have been a little lower than that. But I expect that they'll be, competitive additions to our conference.
I kind of like the fact that every team we play is a conference game.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about finding that other school to fill in. That's got to be tough to find a team to come in and play like mid-season, not a conference game.
And I think that's a big reason why they've added these two. It is tough for the athletic directors to find another school, and especially for teams like Rochester and SHG, who have a very, very difficult time getting a non-conference team to play them, which is why sometimes they have to go out of state. And even Jacksonville, I think, has expressed, in Chatham, those are all have been such strong programs that people don't want to play them as a non-conference.
Think those teams will be down this year?
I doubt it. No.
What teams?
The four you just mentioned. Think they'll be down? I bet they're in the weight room right now. What do you think, Coach Mack?
I'm sure they make very good use of their weight room throughout the summer, is by the looks of those kids on the field. Yes.
Yeah, they're going to be strong again. SHG can absolutely. They have so many kids coming back. They'll play for another state title. Barring injury, they're that good. And then, they're going to beat up a team like Chatham to get there, who's is an excellent team. Jacksonville they'll be good. And then you got Rochester. They'll drop down a class and come out and go get it again because they're going to be that good. Yeah. Tough schools, tough football teams.
Like we've mentioned this before, it's one of the toughest football conferences probably in the state of Illinois, just when you look at what's coming out of the conference. And if these teams didn't have to face each other in playoffs, that's Chatham, Jacksonville, and your SHGs, we could easily have 4 schools, advancing. But
sure,
it's got to be the toughest conference. It's not a parochial, conference, because you have some of those private conferences.
Yeah, but
and those teams are loaded up. It's what Rochester and SHG are going up against, for state championships all the time. Go beat those guys. Should be a fun season, though. We'll be all right.
It's always fun.
Sounds like you might be a little young. Might be junior-based. A lot of juniors going to have to step up.
Yeah, we're looking like we've got most of the last year's sophomores and incoming juniors are coming back. Real pleased about that. The freshman group from last year that's coming back as sophomores is looking like it may be the biggest sophomore group that we've had in years. Last year was the previous biggest in the last several years, and I think this year looks like they're going to have numbers-wise even more. So excited about those. We got to get some more freshman kids signed up. We're kind of low at the moment right now, but there's always some that will maybe haven't found out the information yet, and then throughout the summer start poking their heads.
That's why we're going to throw it out there again.
Well, that's something that we've noticed throughout the years with youth football. Your 8th graders that are playing, freshmen, you got kids that have never played football before signing up to play. Yep. I never did quite understand that. I mean, you always want your kids out there playing just to get them the experience, but you'll have some kids out for your freshmen that they've never put on pads or anything before.
Oh, sure, and they've got a great opportunity to contribute too. I mean, football is a sport with so many different roles that if a kid has a desire to be out there and has a little bit of toughness, and that's something that can always be worked on, and the willing to work, then he can contribute to a football team. So many different roles that can help out and be a part of the football family.
Absolutely.
What's the numbers been like the past few years for freshmen? Do you remember? I don't.
Last year was, I think, right at 20, I believe, 2021. We're usually between 20 and 25 in the last several years. 25 is a number that'd be great. We would like to have over 20. I mean, obviously, you'd like to have, at least to be able to scrimmage 11 on 11. So, 22. And then.
That's there in the 40s when I was a freshman.
Yeah, well, I was too. I've still got a freshman football picture that my wife has on the wall, and there's over 40 kids on it. We would love to get up in those numbers again, because we think there's great benefit for these young teenagers playing the sport.
Well, then let's talk about the voodoo thing, Mac, because I know we keep an eye out on it, but it's the one thing everyone's worried about now with all the concussion things going on. I mean, talk about how we take care of the kids out there and how they're looked after, and Missy, and it's obviously, I'm not going to say that a head injury isn't a bad thing. It is, but I think there's a lot of press going on now about the head injuries, and I think football's getting I think they're getting kind of a bad name over it, but we're doing all we can. high-tech stuff. Most of these people, I think what people need to realize is, because everyone always looks to the NFL, or when you're talking football, they talk about the NFL and the head injuries. Well, when you look back at the people that are claiming they have head injuries now, a lot of them just wore cloth on the top of their helmets. That's true.
Right.
And it wasn't the same as it is now. And I'm not saying they don't have problems from it. I'm sure they do. But it's not like that now.
But if you look at injuries throughout over a course of a football program, how many concussions do you really have compared to other injuries? It's just concussions just kind of put to the top,
right.
And then the president starts talking about it, and it just gets blown out of context. Where back in the day it was you got your bell rung,
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's just because of all the media and all the
modern technologies advanced so much that they can detect now when you have more of a slight concussion. And I'm the first person to say, if you have a concussion, sit out.
Absolutely.
You get out, you take your time off, and you got to use that head, most of the time for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Most people.
Some of us.
All right, Coach.
Wait a minute, Matt. Tell them a little bit about the helmets have changed, and Missy looks after them. And I guess I just wanted to say that so the parents know their kids are going to be looked after, so they're not just out there.
Right.
Oh, I think high school football is safer than it's ever been. I think football in general is safer than it's ever been. It's not getting more dangerous. There's so many precautions now. We have a trainer that's out there at every practice and every game. So if there's any type of sign of injury or getting a bell rung, which years ago you kept practicing. You didn't want to tell the coach you didn't want to practice because you got a little headache. Now they go to the trainer. They see the trainer. And I think enough information has gotten out there that is done, and we have a great trainer that keeps an eye on them.
Hey, Mac, just touch a second on the things they do. I can't remember what's called now.
There's a preseason.
There's an impact test, which all the kids, all the incoming freshmen are required to take. And these last 3 weeks of school, the athletes of the high school have been going up to the computer lab and taking an impact test. It's kind of it's a pre-test so that if they do have some type of concussion, and it's not just football players, it's every sport is doing it, because you have concussions and sometimes even more in some other sports like soccer and basketball and volleyball, and so they take this pre-test. If they have any symptoms come up, then they have to go back and take this test again, and it kind of gives them a gauge as to whether they are ready to come back and play again. But yeah, there's a lot of I think hype that's going on out there. I just got through reading a book called The War on Football, and the gentleman that wrote the book goes into a lot of specifics and studies, and kind of shows how it is a little bit overhyped right now, and compared to a lot of other things out there. But I believe the benefits of playing the sport for a young man far outweigh whatever risks. If we're going to let our kids live in a bubble, then we better get them off the bikes, or make sure they're wearing bike helmets all the time, get them off the skateboards. So many other things that have proven to be far more dangerous and risky to our kids than playing football with a $250 helmet on and wearing several $100s worth of pads.
Right.
So again, if they want to know more information, contact numbers, people.
I've told many kids at the high school that have told me they'd like to play football, but their parents are reluctant to let them. To please, give me a call, contact me. I'd love to talk to them. I'm not an expert on it, but I have been kind of trying to study up on it, and again, like you said, this is the NFL situation, which is players that are playing for their life. They don't want to come out, or they lose a position, they lose money. There's a tremendous lot of pressure for them to stay in the game when they are injured and have injuries. Does not compare to the kid playing a youth or high school level.
Right.
That's not the same thing. That's right.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for coming in. We'll have you on again later on in the summer, just kind of when we get ready, to kick off, and I'm sure you'll be with us every Saturday morning. We look forward to that.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Before we go, let's throw out this trivia question to win these No Limit Monster Truck Summer Nationals.
What day is it on?
It's on Sunday. Well, Jake's not here, but it's Sunday.
Have Mac say it. What day is it on, Mac?
Sunday. June 15th, Father's Day, at 6 p.m. There's a big name coming here. It's at the Lincoln Speedway, right in the middle there. They're going to have a big old monster truck show. If you can call in at 737-3791 and tell us, probably one of the founding fathers, I think, of monster truck in all of history of monster truck. He's going to be in Lincoln. If you can give us the name of that monster truck, one of the biggest ever, Everybody knows this
biggest
one.
ever.
Biggest ever. Everybody knows this truck, and he is going to be in Lincoln Father's Day, June 15th at 6.
Sunday.
Gotcha. Father's Day. Give us a call. Tell us the name of that truck, and you're going to win 2 adult tickets and 2 children's tickets valued at, well, the adult tickets are $18 a piece and the kids are $12. So that's a pretty good prize right there. Call us at 737-3791. Give us the answer to the big monster truck that's going to be here in Lincoln. You're going to win those tickets. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 FM, WLCNonline.com.
And we're back.
We are back. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM, streaming live on the web, WLCN Online, outside in front of Jake's Furnishings. And we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hi.
How you doing this morning?
Hi, it's Wyatt Mommin.
Hey, what's up, Wyatt
It's
Mom?
Wyatt Mommin.
I think
Hey, what
you
are
guys
you
are
looking
owed
for me?
You guys are owed a pizza, aren't you?
Hey, Wyatt, you looking for
Sure.
pizza?
Wyatt, you there?
Yeah,
You got an answer to our trivia question?
yeah,
What is it?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is the answer. So,
Bigfoot.
guess what you're doing Father's Day? You're gonna
Going
go.
to
You're going to
Monster
the.
Truck Show?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
Have you ever been to one?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well, they've got one of the biggest names in monster truck history going to be in Lincoln, and that is Bigfoot. And so you have your ticket and 3 others. So you going to take your dad or leave him at home?
Okay.
What about taking your favorite insurance agent? Hey, look,
I got
silence.
nothing but silence. Hey, Wyatt, tell your dad he can pick up these tickets along with his pizza that he won.
Pizza.
Here at Jake's Furnishings, okay?
You want me?
Okay.
You still
No, that pizza's going to be at my office, not my truck.
Oh, okay. Well, the
It's my
pizza's
car.
still at Joe's office, Country Financial. So he'll have to make 2 trips. All right, buddy? Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
And we'll see you out there June 5th at the Monster Truck Rally show. All right?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll see
See
you.
you, Wyatt. Well, there's a winner.
Well, another winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah,
they can go out
that's
for pizza afterwards.
Wyatt Mommin.
Wyatt Mommin.
He's going to be going to the Monster Truck show.
Future fireman here in Lincoln. He's going to grow up and be a fireman.
Yeah?
That's what he tells me. Well, that was a long time ago. He may change his mind by
Well,
now. He may want to be a DJ.
He may want to be an insurance salesman when he figures out the hours of work.
Oh, it's a lot of work doing what I do.
The No Limits Monster Truck Summer Nationals. Advanced tickets right now, adult $18, children are $12, and 12 and under are free. Free pit party, I should say. If you buy the tickets when you walk up, they're $20 and $15 for children, 12 and under. Pit party tickets are $5. Some of the sponsors: Beck's Travel Plaza, Lincoln IGA, Jim Examus Ford, Calm Creek Cafe, Slackers Bar and Grill, and the Mason City IGA. Some other trucks that are with Bigfoot, some big names: Raminator, Eliminator, Defender, Ghost Rider, and the truck that you're gonna like, Joe, is La Chica Loca.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
I know,
the one. My favorite.
because you like living La Vida Loca.
La Vida Loca.
So get on out there June 15th. What day is that on?
That's on. Is it Sunday?
Sunday. And we lost our
Yeah,
Jake
where'd he go?
disappeared.
He's trying to sell furniture.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Now, let's talk a little bit about this horse race coming
absolutely. Big race tonight.
up. The Belmont Stakes.
Belmont Stakes. What time's that kick off?
I think it's 5 o'clock, 5:10 or so. That's when they go.
6:35, 5:35, somewhere around there. Belmont Stakes.
5:52 and they're off, it says.
5:52. They're off. And who's
It's a
off?
little later.
It's going to be California Chrome, trying to do something that hasn't been done in 30 some odd years.
36, 38 years.
36 years. And that's being a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, that's a big deal. You know,
yeah,
in
and
the horse racing industry.
a little-
in sports in
Yeah.
general.
Little longer track, what, mile and a half? The ones he's been racing. What's what's the Kentucky Derby? That's a mile?
You got me. Yeah, I don't know.
And then
It's the shortest one, right? They gradually get longer.
I think so.
The thing about this, it hasn't been done. The thing about it is that this horse feels no pressure.
How do you know?
In sports,
talk to you?
Like baseball, some team could feel a pressure, basketball pressure. This horse doesn't feel the pressure.
Just go out and run.
It's everybody else around.
Yeah.
The jockey, the trainer, the owners. And that's why it's interesting. And I was listening to the guy talk the other day on Bloomberg, and he was talking about how that there will be so much money bet on this race.
Oh yeah.
All the novice people will get out there and bet on this race because he's going to try to win it. And they said the safest bet you could make out there was to take him to finish. Take it exactly. Take him to finish in 1-2. Take him to at least finish second because you don't want to be nosed out betting on him to win and having him lose. So you got to take him to at least finish second.
Do we have any odds on this race yet?
Yeah, he's 3-5. I mean, they think he's got a shot to win it. So I mean, obviously he does. The other incredible thing about it is that this was all for a $10,000 investment. So I think they've done all right. Huh?
Wow. Yeah.
They had $10,000 on this horse, and he's already won the first two. And looking at this, so he's. I think he's been what they call a moneymaker.
Now, there's Jake. He's back. And we are back with Jake.
And we are back.
Hey, what day's that truck
momentarily? It's going to be on Sunday, June 15th. That's right. We'll sell you the whole seat, or maybe even give you tickets, but you'll only need the edge.
We have a ticket winner.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be into Jake's to get it. So
who is it?
Wyatt Mommin.
All right.
So now, going back to the horse race, how do they go about? How do they go about lining them up as far as the start? I know California Chrome got number 2 pull. How does that work? Anybody know?
I don't know. That'd be a good trivia question.
There's a hole, and they take these horses and they
shove them in.
They shove them in there.
But
and then at some point they open the gates.
But how do you
the horses take off running?
Who gets 1, 2,
I'm not
3,
sure.
4, 5?
They may draw it. You just need a good draw.
To be honest, I'm thinking that's what it is. I think it is a draw. Yeah,
because I wouldn't think you'd want to be on the outside because that everybody wants the inside lane, inside track. Is that correct? So the higher number, you're going to be outside.
You know what? It actually does depend with your horse, because a lot of the horses, they're better off in a sprint type situation where it's more open. If you're on the outside, you're cutting in,
right?
And out the gate, they can be a lot stronger and move through the crowd a lot quicker. Whereas the horses on the inside are going to have to take that turn a lot harder and maybe a little bit more difficult for them. So it just depends on how your horse reacts and how you've trained them. A lot of people train them on the inside, and that's why most of the time you see them wanting the inside.
Well, you're gonna. What do you guys think? Can California Chrome pull it off?
Well, I don't know. I'm really not a horse racer. Of course, I think he can pull it off, but
hell no, he can't pull it off. Are you crazy?
A little bit.
When was the last Triple Crown winner?
36 years ago.
That's exactly right. You know why? Because it's extremely hard and almost impossible.
But he's wearing nasal strips.
Well, the nasal strips look cute. They can doctor him up. Look at that. Put that nasal strip on there. Put jakesfurnishings.com on there.
And that only costs you about $2-3 million.
You think that's all? For the Triple Crown? For the last leg of the Triple Crown?
Just for one little strip.
I was going to say, that's
Sharpie.
That's exactly right. And Sharpie, about a couple million.
Wow. But yeah.
That'd be bigger than a NASCAR.
It's a little longer race. It's a mile and a half. Mm-hmm. So he's got, I'm sure they've been working on it the past, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you got to pace yourself. You're just like, you would a runner. You don't want to come out the gate and then just, lose it towards the end. So, I mean, it's a little different race style. Will he do it? I don't know. But if he does, that's going to be huge. And there's going to be
to watch.
I think a couple years ago, Grandma V called in, was giving us some insight on the horses.
Grandma V?
Yeah.
She knows about horses, too?
I'm pretty sure
she's had a few of them out there in that driveway playing basketball.
That's exactly what it was, getting checked into the door.
Now, if California Chrome didn't win, the last race, would it be this big of a production?
No.
Because at 6 o'clock, LL Cool J is performing at a horse race.
Well, Jim will be tuned in. He loves that.
Yeah.
He loves it. He does love LL.
He does have some of his old music on today, just getting ready for it. He won't even watch the race. He just watch LL and turn it off.
That's exactly
He'll
right.
have his LL parallel hat on, some chain.
I said earlier, $10,000 invested in California Chrome, and right now his career earnings are $3.4 million.
Woo! Pretty good investment.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
Wow.
I don't know. Is that good?
That's pretty good.
That's that's pretty
solid.
That's a nice ride right there.
good. Yeah.
That I believe that's
Souped up and going.
Ed Metters right there.
Souped up and going right there.
All right. So that's later today. 5:52. They're off.
And they're off.
And they are off.
And they're off.
Time we got here. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. We can
Nonsense.
talk a little bit about Cardinal baseball if you want.
Yeah. Let's talk some Cub baseball. How about that? Swept the Mets and they win yesterday against the Marlins.
All right.
That's all we need to talk about.
And cut.
Commercial break. How are the Cardinals doing? They're not doing so well right now, are they?
No, they're all right, man.
I think their highlight the past few days was Yachty hitting what's his name in the head when he was throwing the ball back to the pitcher.
That happens.
That happened.
Yeah, that did happen.
I think it knocked him out.
Colton Wong was rookie of the month last month, and now he's out with a slight shoulder injury. So
Now, he's been up and down. Haven't they sent him down a couple of times?
They sent him down once, and he came back up, and he's played extremely well. Obviously, being rookie of the month. So the last Cardinal to do that, I believe. You know what? I think it was Brian Barton actually, but Pujols before that. But I think they're going to be fine. They're built for a season-long run with the pitching they have. So you got to just pay attention to see what's going on.
Jake,
here in another few weeks.
You're not only a furniture guy, you're a baseball guy. So I got a question for you. It seems to me, and you're going to have your 4-2s, your 3-1s, your 2-0s. We've seen them. But just when you look at scores nowadays, it seems to me that there are more runs being scored in Major League Baseball than ever before.
See, there was actually people talking about there's being less. They're being less right now. Yeah.
Well, you just got treated.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of with you when you're looking around the scoreboards. You're seeing one team a lot more lopsided scores, I guess is the best way to say it.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is it worse pitching, better hitting, or just what's happening?
I think it's a little bit diluted pitching. There's studs on a lot of teams, but then that second tier, you get to the number 4 and 5 starter, and a lot of teams, to be honest, don't put a lot of effort into those guys. And I think those 4 and 5 starters for a lot of teams are not that good. And you can go around the entire league, and a lot of times they're filling them with aging veterans. And if those aging veterans aren't performing, they don't have a backup plan. And I think that's kind of what's happening. The Cardinals actually have some young guys that aren't really pitching bad. They're just. It seems like they're kind of an enigma for for them. They're not hitting when they should hit, and that's how they're kind of losing. Bad defense every once in a while. Same thing with the Cubs. You get a couple bad defensive plays. All of a sudden, you're looking up at the scoreboard and wondering what the heck just happened.
And that's just with the Cubs. I mean, our relief pitching, we have a 3-0 game yesterday going into the ninth.
Yep.
And we just don't have any relief. And that's where we've lost several games because of our relief pitching.
Yep.
Not saying that we'd be top of division if we had a solid, setup guy or reliever, but we'd have won a few more games to make it look a little more,
And the Major League Draft just happened. Man, there's some talent. It's unbelievable how much talent goes into the draft. These kids that sign and whatnot. It's so much quicker for them to sign nowadays as opposed to making decisions on going to college or not. It happens, within, days anymore.
Why is it that the MLB draft isn't as publicized or a big hype like the NFL, NBA? It's because there's so many rounds and...
There's a couple different reasons. There's a ton of rounds.
Yeah.
Just a lot of rounds. On top of that, you can have the number 1 draft pick, and he's going to the minors next year. You go to the NFL, if you have the number 1 draft pick and he ain't starting next year, your franchise is hurting. There's a problem with your franchise.
Maybe your franchise is real good.
Well, you would like to say that.
If you got the number 1 pick, that usually means your franchise
not very good.
is not good at all.
That's what I'm saying, though.
So
and same thing with basketball. It's such a smaller group.
Right.
He has to be playing in some fashion. So with Major League Baseball, you're drafting, 50 guys. Your pick number, let's say 20 or 18 or something, he may be in the majors before your number one pick.
Right.
I mean, and these guys are still developing, even if they're coming from college. Then all of a sudden the spark plug turns on. And in baseball, in my opinion, your prime years are between 26 and 35. I mean, that's kind of an opinion. It may be 26 to 30 in reality for most of these guys. It's a pretty short life. But at the same time, these guys aren't there yet, and they're not anywhere close. There's not too many Mike Trouts in the world.
No.
Mike Trout. Is he related to Steve?
Possibly.
Steve Trout.
I tell you what, he might be over here at the fairgrounds on Sunday.
And what is Sunday? It is the No Limits Monster Truck Summer Nationals. Get your tickets now.
Hey, if you only needed to sit on the edge of that seat, maybe we can go in and get one ticket and just sit in the same seat.
It's probably not a good idea.
That's right.
I don't want to sit on your lap, nor do I want you sitting on
yes,
mine.
You do.
Well, this show just took a turn for the worse. Good thing it's over.
Good thing it's over.
Good thing.
That's probably what some listeners are saying out there. Glad that's over.
Good thing.
Let's get some music on.
Some Tone Loc, because that's a wild thing right there. That's the music that plays for the Monster Truck Summer Nationals. Well, guys, I think we're at your place next week. Joe, is that right?
Joe Financial. Yeah, let's have a blowout down there. Blowout.
Yeah.
I got a tent.
We got a tent.
And I believe Joe's going to be serving brisket.
Is he? You know what? It'd be out back. Go around back, drive through the alley, and honk at the Gazzardo.
That would be nice if you fired up a grill. Well, Nick, he won't be there, will he?
It doesn't matter. Just honk.
Just honk.
If nobody answers, just sit in the alley and wait.
We want our brisket, Joe said.
Nick will be there eventually. He's out riding around somewhere right now, letting that hair blow through wind blow through his hair.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, next week we'll be at Joe's.
You'll only need the edge.
Jake, you going to be with us next week?
I believe I will be.
Awesome.
Making the appearance.
Good deal.
You're back.
All right.
Back.
Well, you've been listening to The Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM and streaming live on the web, WLCNonline.com.
Good day.